Welcome to Hawk Naw Cards, where I make poor life choices in the sports card hobby. And I've done it again, guys. I went to a garage sale the other day and I bought another binder. And there was also a small stack of cards in a shoebox beside it. And we're going to go through these cards today in today's video to see if I made a good life choice or a bad life choice. You're not going to want to miss this video. Check it out. All right, guys, so the other day I went to a garage sale. Well, not the other day, it was yesterday. And at the garage sale, there was just a bunch of baby stuff. You know those garage sales where the parents just had a child and the child grew out of everything. So they have a garage sale and they sell off all the old baby stuff so they can make some money to buy some new baby stuff. Well, every time I go to a garage sale, I ask, even if there isn't any sports cards out, do you have any sports cards for sale? You know, I go to garage sales to look for sports cards. So I was just wondering if you had any in the house. And most of the time when I find cards at a garage sale, they weren't out. They were in the house and they probably weren't even planning on selling them. But since they asked, they're like, yeah, we have some cards for sale. And then they bring them out and you go through and you can usually find some pretty good deals that way. So whenever you're out hunting for cards at garage sales, always ask. Because like I said, the majority of the time, they have them and they're willing to get rid of them for some good deals. All right, so in this little collection or lot that I purchased the other day, I don't like to talk about money. I really don't. But I bought it to try to make a profit. And there was one card in particular, we'll go over that here toward the end, that I thought, that could be my moneymaker right there. So thinking about grading it, you know, getting it back, doubling my money, maybe even tripling my money for the entire collection. So I kind of took a chance and I offered them a pretty strong price on this. That's all I'm going to say. So I'll be lucky to break even. I'll be honest with you. I looked at that one card and I don't think that it's going to be grade worthy, but I need to take a closer look. So what I got from the garage sale, like I said, was one binder full of 90% or more baseball cards. And then in a shoebox, there was a stack of the more, the better cards in the collection that were top loaded. I went through those. I didn't really find a whole lot other than that one card. And maybe there was an auto card in there that was a pretty good value, like a $10, $15 card. Okay, so we'll go through the binder first, and I'm not going to go through and show every page, but I went through most of the binder already, and when you see a blank spot, it's probably because I pulled a card out. Speaking of that, I'm going to pull this Georgia Brett out for my personal collection. So anything that I found in here that was $2 or more, I pulled it out to try to sell on eBay. And my eBay store is full, so I'm not able to list very many cards, or I go over the limit and then you have to pay for the listing, and I don't like to do that. But anyway, I thought I would just pull out some of the cards out of here that I thought were $2 or more, and there really weren't very many. But there's still some pretty good stuff in here. There's some pretty cool cards, a lot of rookie cards, a lot of prospect cards, a lot of inserts. Big League. I don't really know much about Big League, but there's some pretty cool cards in that collection. I kind of like that set, really. But honestly, I really don't know a lot about baseball cards. I'm more of a basketball card guy, but I do know this. Baseball cards sell more quickly than basketball cards. Basketball cards probably have a higher value upside potential than baseball cards. And plus, I'm just kind of a basketball guy. Played basketball. I coach basketball. I coach middle school girls basketball, 7th grade girls. And that's quite the trip, if I do say so. Okay, and then there was also a lot of unlicensed stuff in here. But I think these are some pretty cool cards. I forget the name of this set, but these cards are thick. And I believe Julio Rodriguez is one of the main rookies from that year. Most of these cards were from 2022, 23, somewhere in that range. So I don't know, I might have to look at this Julio Rodriguez again and pull that out. In fact, I'm just going to pull it out. Pull both of them out. I could be wrong about Julio. I really don't know what I'm talking about, which is the theme of a lot of my videos. A lot of purple refractors, not too much there. There were some blank pages in the middle. There might have even been a whole page where I pulled everything out. Salvi, love Salvi. I don't know. I don't think he is highly collectible, but he's probably a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. And one of my favorite all-time Royals players. Maybe I should start collecting him. I don't know why I don't. A lot of stars of the MLB. I pulled out a few Aaron Judge cards. Those seem to be the better selling ones that were in here. Another blank page. Some more unlicensed stuff. The Big Bang, Matt Olson from Atlanta. I don't know if that's a good card or not. I looked it up and it wasn't $2 or higher. Some more cards from this set from Panini. Let's see if I can figure out Panini players. I don't even know. Some more of those, Here's a cool new age card, Ronald Acuna. Sorry if the lighting's not very good. I tried to fix my lighting. I have a little bit of a different setup for my lighting today. The room is a little bit darker. The light is right above my table where I film some of my videos, and so the glare is just really bad. Let's see if I can make it a little bit of an adjustment here. Is that better? I'm trying to avoid the glare. Anyway, don't want to bore you guys to death, so I'm just going to thumb through these pretty quickly. A lot of Bowman Chrome, Bowman First cards. There was a lot of Heritage in this collection. I like Heritage. Makes me want to collect the set every year, but I really can't afford to do that. I'm getting there, though. Here's a cool Willie Mays card of the throwback. What year is that of Topps? See, I just don't know what I'm talking about. Most of you out there could probably say, oh, that's the 1987 Topps or 88 or whatever the year is. It's kind of an iconic set. I do know that. Some more Topps rookie cards, inserts. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Here's a cool unlicensed printer proof card. I did pull out one or two of those. A Miguel Cabrera, some kind of insert. So anyway, there's probably some baseball guys out there. If you're interested in this binder, hit me up. I'll do private sales through PayPal, goods and services, stuff like that. Some cool inserts from Mosaic. This Thunderstruck is pretty cool. See if you can get a better look at that. Not really. I'm sorry, the lighting. And another reason why I picked up this binder in this collection was because I noticed there were several soccer cards in there. And I know soccer cards are kind of getting big. So I went through and I looked up all of these soccer cards that were in here and these basketball cards that were in here, and there wasn't really a whole lot of value. A lot of $1 range cards, so I'm just leaving those in the binder. I might have pulled out a soccer card or two. I don't know. We'll go through the cards that I pulled out here in a little bit. Here's more soccer. Here's where I left off. So I got a little lazy and anxious to film my video, so I left a little bookmark there. So there's still some cards in here that I need to go through to see if I need to pull any of these out to sell on my eBay store. We also do garage sales at our house, and I set up a little card shop at my garage sale, and it actually does quite well. You'd be surprised at how many people stop by and look at cards. There's one that might be worth looking at. Never heard of Aaron Nola, but it's a cool Mosaic All Aces card. Did Topps copy Mosaic and Panini for those All Aces cards, or did they copy Topps? I'd really like to know. Here's some more soccer cards. Maybe there's something there. I don't recognize any of these names right offhand. All right, so there's the binder. Okay, and then what I did, I'm not going to bore you too much. I made stacks of like $1 cards that were these were in the shoebox. Golly, the lighting's not very good. These are kind of dark cards in the first place. So anyway, I'll just thumb through these real quick. Most of these are like $1 cards, but they were already top loaded, so I'm just going to keep them in the top loader, save those for a rainy day to list on eBay. And then I made some stacks of $2 cards, $3 cards, $4 cards, and some that are a little bit higher, and then my higher value cards are over there. So nothing too fancy. I know this lighting is not very good, so this is probably going to make for a terrible video. There were some cool patch cards in there. This is a Panini from that one set that I don't know the name. Here's a soccer card that I pulled out, a $2 soccer card. Golly, let me see if I can fix this lighting for you guys real quick. Hang on. All right, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Here's my $3 stack. I think these are pretty cool patch cards. So each one of these goes for about $3, so that'll probably sell pretty quickly on eBay. Alejo Lopez, a little napkin card. I'm sure they're not player worn or anything. I'll have to check that out. Here's another soccer card that I found. It has a little bit of value. A Panini, what is this? Some kind of red ice prism. Another soccer card. An Alex Morgan. I was kind of surprised that this card goes for about $3. And then the Toronto one is a little bit higher than the other ones for some reason. All right, and then my $4 stack over here. You know, some of these might be less than $4, a little bit less, a little bit more than $4. So just put a $4. Oh, these got all mixed up. Okay, so what I did here is I made a stack of $2 to $4 cards. That's what I did. And these were the cards that were in the binder. So let me flip these over so you can see the front. All right, a little cool refractor from the throwback of Gavin Sheets. Must be some kind of rare insert right here. So I'm guessing it's probably about a $2 card. It's underneath the $2 price tag here. Some Mike Schmidt, some Ozzie Smith, some orange sparkle of the Dodgers. I'm sure that'll probably sell. I don't even know if these guys play for the Dodgers anymore, though. Christian Yelich, however you say it, some kind of green. Albert Pujols, Topps Heritage. It's a fine-looking card. The lighting just doesn't do it justice. It almost looks like a 3D image. A Freddie Freeman, numbered to 75. Kind of surprised that's only like a $2 or $3 card. Patrick Corbin, red insert, numbered to 75. Luis Alvarez, gold to 2022. Jaron Duran. I don't know. This is serial numbered to 300, but I don't know why. Like, there's nothing special about this card. Like, I wish Topps would, I don't know, make their numbered cards a little bit better. I'm just saying. Okay, Francisco Alvarez. I like Topps, by the way. I prefer Topps over Panini, so I shouldn't complain. That's a pretty cool big league rookie card. And then some kind of comic strip career highlights of Javier Baez. So there's my $2 to $4 stack. Okay, the highest priced of these team logo patch cards that I can find: Detroit, Riley Green, and an auto card of Chad Patrick in the $5 to $6 range. Okay, now I'm going to get into more of the good stuff. Oh, before I do that, I set aside some cards for my buddy Bobby. Shout out to Bobby, Pack Therapy 34 on YouTube. He recently ripped I think it was 93, 94 NBA Hoops box that he had from the collection that he bought. Go check out that video. It's been getting quite a bit of views, but I would like to see his channel and my channel pick up a little more traction. Seems like mine channel is starting to do a little bit better. So I'm kind of excited about it, and that's why I decided to make this video. When I saw how many people had watched my last video, I got like 120 views, and that's pretty good for only one day for my videos. I'd like to get some more subscribers, though. I hate to say follow and subscribe and all that, but it'd be nice. Okay, so these are some Bobby Witt Jr. cards that I pulled aside from my buddy Bobby. I'm probably going to get with him pretty soon and make some trade. He said he got some pretty cool Cowboys cards from opening up 25 Topps Chrome football the other day. I found 2 cards from my personal collection in here, a George Brett and a Magic Johnson. Pretty cool looking card right there. All right, so let's go through this stack. So on this stack, I have kind of set aside what I thought might do better on my eBay store, pulling a little bit money. This is a Patrick Wisdom Topps Gold framed card. It's like a gold framed card. It does look a little bit smaller than a standard card. I don't really know much about these, but it's about a $10 card. Austin Hayes Bowman First auto. Looks like an on-card auto, so that's pretty cool. About a $14 card. Here's a sticker auto of Richie Palacios. See, I don't know much about baseball. It's hard to find comps on this. I've seen anywhere between $6 and $10. One of my favorite cards from the collection that I found is this Davey Johnson autograph, and it looks pretty clean. I'm thinking about grading this card. Even a PSA 7s were going for like 50, 60 bucks on up. So it's not a strong auto. It's a little bit streaky. So that's kind of what is holding me back. So if I could just get the card graded, but not the auto. I don't know if GameStop can do that or not. I take my cards that I get graded into GameStop. And a pretty cool, I didn't go over the price on this. So raw, it goes for about 15 to 20. A PSA 8, I saw a sell for 60. I saw a sell for a 10 for 80. So not a whole lot of value there in a 10, but pretty good value in all the grades. So there must be quite a few Davey Johnson fans out there, old school. One of the legends. And then this Bryson Stott from the Phillies, kind of a weak auto, probably not worth grading. So I crossed out the grading. There's a lot of chipping on the back and the corners aren't very good, but raw, I'd like to get about $20 for this card. All right, and now the really cool stuff. Some of you could probably see on the video what was there. These all Aces cards from Topps. Probably the best one out of the bunch is this Randy Johnson. I believe it goes for about $10 raw. It might be worth grading. These other 3 cards I don't think are even worth getting graded. Luis Castillo, Sandy Alcantara. I don't know. You guys can pronounce that for me. Carlos Rodon. And here's the beast that I found. Is this Shohei Ohtani. All Aces from Mosaic or just Aces. The corners and the edges don't look great. There's one corner, I think it's this one right here, that kind of sticks out. It doesn't look like the cut was very solid on the edges, so the edges are a little bit rough. Maybe somebody could help me out in the comments. Let me know if this is worth getting graded. A PSA 10 goes for about $350. A PSA 9, about $165. PSA 8 goes for $75. If I got an 8, I would lose money. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I don't think it's a 10, and I don't even know if it would get a 9. It's probably a 7 or 8. So that was kind of unfortunate. So I'm probably just going to put this on auction and list it raw on eBay. And to kind of follow up on this Ohtani card, I'm probably not going to get it graded. I just don't really trust the edges and the corners. It's really not bad. Like, I really do think it might have a shot at getting a 10, but I'm not going to risk it the way PSA grades these days. If it gets an 8, I'm going to lose money, and who knows, it'll probably come back a 5 with my luck. So I'm just going to probably put it on auction on eBay and take my chances there. I don't know, maybe buy it now. And there was one more card that I forgot about till after I was finished with the video, so I'll throw this clip in here somewhere. This is a 2022, I believe 2022 Heritage Venezuela Stamps, which is a super short print card of Spencer Torkelson. And I don't really know much about these cards, but it's very papery. It almost feels like a sticker card. So if you guys know anything about these cards, let me know in the comments. But from my research, there's only a small handful of them listed on eBay for sale. The lowest listed one is $45. I saw, I can't remember who the player was, but it was a a little bit more known player than Spencer Torkelson, and his went for $25 on eBay recently. So anyway, I know Spencer Torkelson's been playing a lot better. He's been tearing it up lately. Plays for the Tigers. They have a lot of fans. So I'm hoping to get somewhere between 25 and 35 for this card on eBay. All right, so that's pretty much it. This is the latest pickup, the collection that I bought. I think there's enough here where I can make a little bit of money, but I don't think I'm going to strike it rich or anything. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Peace out, homies.